Today we'll be creating this miniature landscape in acrylic paint. Sometimes it's fun to create small works as they are quicker to do, but you still gain lots of skills doing them. So let's get into it. For this project, we'll be using a 5 by 7 inch canvas panel, the 2 Seasons kit of acrylic paint and a tear-off paper palette and some brushes. First we need to transfer the image onto the panel. You can find this reference sheet on our website, and from here the rear can be shaded and retraced or drawn in directly. While you're here, don't forget to take a look around the Create section on our site and uncover a whole heap of free stuff, from free projects, handy tips and tricks and techniques to keep you busy. Once the image is transferred, we can refine it and paint in the trunks for the trees with cobalt blue, so that we don't lose them in the undercoat. We then create a very light blue from titanium white with a touch of light blue and lay this into the background between the mountains. While this coat is still wet, we create a mix from orange and a touch of titanium white and lay this into the sky at the bottom of the mountains and blend it into the sky above, so there is a transition into the light blue sky. Next we can create the mountains by mixing some cobalt blue with titanium white and paint the mountains in, adding more titanium white as we move down the mountain so it gets lighter closer to the bottom. To suggest a mountain range slightly closer, a darker tone against the lighter, softer mountains in the background can be laid in. The branches can be put on the pine trees now with cobalt with a touch of white. Because these are in the distance, they would take on an atmospheric blue tinge. The branches slope up slightly and the mass of each tree can slowly be built up. If you use the edge of the brush, you can get a pretty sharp line. We can then apply a thinner mix of cobalt over the darker tone. Creating trees like this, it is best to dab the paint on. It's always a good technique to work from dark to light, or by laying lights over the previous darker coats. The foreground can then be laid in with light green. The bank and the trees in the middle ground are painted in with black, allowed to dry and then painted with olive green mixed with a little light green. Lighter green highlights can then be laid in any areas of highlight. Try to vary the colour of the greens also, again using the dabbing method. If the colour is not dark enough, you can go back over the colour again once it's dry. The river can be laid in with a dark tone consisting of black and cobalt blue. This might look too dark at this point, but remember, we will go over this with a lighter tone. Once this is dry, we can go over it with cobalt, and white can then be dry brushed over the top in areas. Once the water is all laid in, we can paint the bank in with green. This can be handled like the trees and painted black first, and then green can be laid over the top, leaving areas of black to come through. We can then lay white in over the top of the darker underlying blue. Rocks can be placed into the river and a grey can be painted on the top of the rocks for a highlight. To create a highlight for the sunset, we create a light orange and scumble this into the surface of the water. Well, thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this project and really hope you can try your hand at creating your own miniature landscape. Otherwise, have fun, keep creating, and we'll see you in the next one.